How could a memory be filled with so much happiness, yet so much pain at the same time? I was hit with a tsunami of sorrow today, to the point that I couldn't function and needed to lay down in utter defeat, only to have my cat jump on my chest in the sweetest loving way, falling asleep as I petted her fur, and I myself continued to cry. My aunt's wedding, a beautiful, gorgeous, memorable evening, her second marriage, finding true love and happiness, and there I was with my true love, or who I thought was a true love, with my family celebrating this joyous occasion. My mother and father were both there, and they looked amazing. My father was dressed up, clean cut, smiling. He was so handsome. My mother had her hair done, her smile, she was so beautiful. The moment the two of them embraced on the dance floor, locked together in a beautiful connection, swaying to the slow sounds of love in the air, you could see the admiration and love that my mom had for him. But I could also see the years of pain, the addiction, the one-sided devotion. But for that very moment was a shared beauty that both of them embraced in. Now for me, I never ask people of things for me. I can't bring myself up to ask them. Yet this night, I went up to my father the very first time and I asked him if he would dance with his daughter. I asked if he would dance with me. And I looked at him lovingly, knowing how many years of separation, drug abuse, mental illness, but for this moment, I just wanted to dance with my father. I wanted to dance with him for the very first time. And he looked at me. He said, no. I went to the bathroom alone. I cried my eyes out. I washed my face. I took a deep breath and I tried to center and control every emotion that swelled up inside of me, just so I could enjoy the moment and celebrate the union and love of my aunt and uncle. Yet I had to accept that my father refused me, as he always has done. Let's come full circle now. For years, I have not asked for things in regards to me from people. I have built up these walls of denial because it was much better, safer, and easier for me to be denied of things I want simply because I failed to ask, rather than being refused for something that I've asked of another. A lesson was taught to me, one that really, really hit fucking hard, and it was the concept of free will. Just because I ask of something of another does not mean that they are going to grant it to me simply because I want it. The fact is that they have free will to decide for themselves what they do or do not wish to do. And yet, here is the problem. I have consciously made a choice to completely relinquish my free will to another my entire adult life, to the point that I don't even know who the fuck I am. My free will was always in reflections of what others wanted, needed, allowed, or expected from me. The mistakes I made was my free will was the choice to allow and do this. And yet, I thought that there was no backing out of it. I imprisoned myself in the will of others to the point that I could not see that I have always held the keys to my own prison. I recently asked something of someone to do for me. And once again, the answer is no. In my frenzy, I ask myself, why am I allowing another to decide and control the outcome? It reinforces the idea that I really do not have a say, a choice, or free will. But even if I have the free will to decide upon what I want, my wants or needs will forever be in the hands of another to decide. And if the answer is no, then it doesn't matter what my free will is at all, because the answer is no. I ask myself, is it so hard for another to make a very small sacrifice for me? Was it so hard for my father just to say yes and give me one dance? Just one moment that in my life I could say that we actually danced? I never got a dance, and I never will get a dance because my father is deceased. It is so hard for the things I ask now to be sacrificed for me just for a small bit of happiness. If small things I ask for cannot be granted, what is going to happen if I ever actually ask for big things? I can't keep feeling this denial with everything that I ask. I had a year to fix myself. I had over a year to fix myself, an attempt to heal myself. Yet immediately, I chose to distract myself, put myself in a position where I didn't have to focus on myself at all. And it was a wasted distraction that ultimately led to even more pain and even more chaos and things to try to fix and mend. I have to remind myself, do not ask how to live, but instead proceed to do so. Yet how can I live if all I ever lived was in the empty shell of others' wants, needs, and expectations? And yet the moment I ask for something for me, I am denied. And I am reminded that it's not because of something I want, it's because the free will of another just does not want to make that small little sacrifice to make me happy. This hit very, very hard today. And all I could say is just for today, allow me the strength to focus upon myself and not be consumed by sorrow, pain, and the floodgate of triggered memories.